Welcome to the Workplace Minute, powered by H3 HR Advisors and sponsored by Paychex, and also sponsored by WorkHuman. My name is Steve Boese. How one major tech company is sticking with remote work. In 2020, Atlassian, a software company that specializes in project management tools, implemented a distributed approach to work arrangements that it calls Team Anywhere. The policy allows the company's 12,000 employees to work from wherever it has a legal entity. As long as the time zone is compatible with their role, they have their team leader's blessing, and they have the right to work in that region. That means that instead of being limited to one of Atlassian's 12 global offices, employees now can clock in from over 10,000 locations around the world. Even before the pandemic, Atlassian, whose tools are frequently used by remote workers, was exploring alternative methods to traditional in-office work. We were always experimenting in this space heavily because it sits very well with what we do for our customers, Avani Prabhakar, Chief People Officer at Atlassian, said in a recent interview. Once COVID hit, the company committed to a fully distributed work model and then never looked back. For us, it was never a thing where we think about the return to office one day when things get normal, he added. In the process of transforming into a distributed workforce, Atlassian focused on a data-driven approach. The company created Team Anywhere within its people department, which includes the Teamwork Lab, which is a group of behavioral scientists conducting research to solve problems and innovate how work gets done for both clients and the company itself. Prabhakar said there are 4 key components to Atlassian's remote work model. The first is asynchronous communication, in which teams favor written communication, not meetings, for collaboration. The second is open by default, meaning that all documents or written materials should be available to everyone. Third is connection, which they acknowledge was one of the company's biggest struggles. Atlassian holds intentional together gatherings at which teams congregate in person a few times each year. And the fourth and final pillar is to consider time zone awareness, making sure there is at least some time zone overlap among employees who are working together. Atlassian has been operating a fully distributed work model for about 4.5 years, and recent data shows overwhelmingly positive results with their staff. Approximately 92% of employees report that the Team Anywhere policy allows them to do their best work. And similarly, 91% of employees say that flexibility is one of the primary reasons they stay at the company. And it's not just employee satisfaction that has increased with the distributed work model. Recruitment has also improved. Atlassian's workforce has tripled in size during the time that its flexible work policy has been in place, and the number of candidates who apply for open roles has more than doubled. And the rate at which candidates accept job offers has increased as well to 20% since the company implemented distributed work. Atlassian acknowledges while work does not have to revolve around the office, there are some employee demographics that particularly value the in-person environment, and company leadership should take that into account. The early in-career cohort loves coming into the office. They like the interaction, Prabhakar said, so you have to make sure your office still caters to Gen Z. And while Atlassian's Team Anywhere approach has been a success so far, that doesn't mean that the company has it all figured out. Atlassian's leaders caution other companies interested in experimenting with these work models to resist declared victory and remain engaged with the process. But in a time where calls for workers to increase in-person work seem to be multiplying, it is encouraging that this large, global, high-tech company can be an example of ways to make remote working work for both the organization and its employees. That's it for the show today. We will continue to follow this and all the important topics and trends in the world of work here on the HR Happy Hour Media Network. This has been Steve Boese for the Workplace Minute, powered by H3 HR Advisors.